Hey there, Drawyah here, and welcome to NIMBY Rails. So today we're creating our first truly fictional line here in your new train sim tycoon railroad sandbox game. And basically, what we've done in the past is we've recreated. Well, we've created what was going to be HS2 in the UK. We then recreated the London and Central line, and today we'll be doing our very first proper fictional railway. So we're going to build a brand new high-speed railway for Europe. We're going to base it out of Berlin, which is a very nice central location to do it from. High-speed network must have a grand name to go with it. So how about an acronym for Europe? Let's see. So EUROPE, the European Union Railways O Organization for, I need a P and an E. The European Union Railways Organization for I don't know. P words linked with railways or transports. For Any ideas in chats? The European Union Railways Organization for of potential expansion? I don't know. That's our railway's name. Of potential expansion. That's our railway's name. Do it with finances, so we'll make sure that we do that all correctly. And as for trains, well, I've got a couple of mods from the Steam Workshop. So downloaded first of all the European stroke UK based trains, so class 150, Turbo Stars, Flex Cities, BR classes, German train 425, commuter service, Eurostar, Intercity 225, a couple of these Norwegian trains, Norwegian or Danish, the in this setup. Public was a good one actually as well. Oh, actually, I prefer some of those names. The European Union Railways Organisation of Public Express. That's a very good one there, Owen. I like that. I like that a lot. So yeah, Stellar Flirts, the VR class SR2. Shinkansen's not very European built those, so I think we'll leave those out. It's Dutch, sorry, yeah, this is Dutch. Here's Sampo. So yeah, got the European train set. We've got our European Union Railways Organisation of Public Express. Let's jump right in, shall we? So like I say, we're starting to sell this out in Berlin. And what I'm going to do is initially follow the path of the current Berlin railways coming through. So starting Berlin Central, we'll head it out through Spandau and wherever it goes into south. And then from there, curve all around and beyond. So it's Berlin, well, it was Berlin Tegel now, since closed public. There's Berlin Central City Centre, and I'm now looking for the Central Station location, potentially where all the railways meet up. There we go. Right about here. Nope. No, that's not it. Follow the railways around. Meter. I'm looking for Bundestag. Bundestag, follow the rivers around. I've actually forgotten where the Berlin landmarks are. I know that Central Station is waterside or riverside. Right, so follow the river south. There's a box here, and the station links off of the box. So it's about here we're looking at. Yeah, so you can see where the railway line that exits out one side, crosses the water, exits out the other side somewhere. I'm sure satellite imagery will help. It's also per million. Next is the viaduct, which is about 110 meters per million, and then tunnel, most expensive, being 80 meters per million. However, ground going over a road, you have an overpass or a bridge, that costs 1 million. Overpasses 1 million. A viaduct's the same length, much cheaper indeed. So the question is, especially when it comes to in and out of stations where speed is not quite as high, would it be cheaper to viaducts? Would it be cheaper to bridge? And so that's where we kind of keep our costs down initially and work it all out from there. So start off with a station. Well, this is first of all the easy station, because what I can do is I can just bridge right across the roads and pretend it doesn't even exist. Now is 6 stations, 200 meters of yeah, I can't really say that other. So yeah, 200 meters. Therefore, our platform lengths need to be about that. So make things a bit longer actually. There you go, 200 on 1, down to 200. Probably push that a little bit. Oh, I've already realised one little time. Switch over to viaducts, just over the roads, and then back onto grounds track, just like so. Adjust the track slightly, make sure that the angle's all correct. Give it a little curve in it, but it doesn't need to be too much. Since it's also still close to the station, it doesn't so much matter about the speed of the track. Mainly until we actually exit the main Berlin centre, things start to increase. So Berlin, I think our first leg will be Berlin to Hanover. From Hanover, we'll head down to Dortmund. Dortmund through Cologne, and eventually try and make our way into Paris. We like to go and get all the way to Paris on our first go, because well, it's a long distance that, and we're not quite financially strong to do that, but you never know. So back to ground, and slowly build our way out of here. So another bridge coming up. We'll viaduct over that. So far so good. Welcome TG Killswitch, welcome Moses, how are you doing? I'm not doing too bad, how about you Killswitch, how are you doing? So coming up to our first proper jump there, so got a bit of water to cross. Measure that quite nicely, so adjust the track, get the curvature right. Stick a viaduct in place. There we go. So I'll say a viaduct is about 10 times cheaper than it is for an overpass, and therefore if we can keep prices low in the cities, that helps get as far as possible. Stick another viaduct out, across the water, and then back down again. Do the Bakerloo line. Maybe at some stage we will do. Some stage we'll maybe create a few more of the London Underground lines. But for now, so the main part, or the main aim of this game is to be, well, to design your own railways. It's a sandbox. Build your own railways. Improve the real world lines to how you believe it should be in reality. And so fictional is where this game really stands out. But we can definitely do a few more creations for sure if people are interested in it. So bridge over the top. Make sure that we are sticking to the other side, because if you also leave a gap alongside free, it means that if we build a parallel railway, we can easily just connect it all together. So of course, with the high-speed line, eventually you're going to need local lines to act as feeders. So people will take more than one train, they make connections where they need to go, and therefore can jump around through that. So even within Berlin, we could probably potentially exit out, add more stations wherever we need to. So within Berlin, perhaps Spandau would be a great place to stick another station. Definitely the train stations, if we can get a high-speed connection to those, would be pretty good. Just guys seeing how this all works together. This is NIMBY Rails Game and Tech Tips, not Microsoft Flight Sim. We're playing NIMBY Rails today. So stick the railway out. Next viaduct. Whoops. There's nothing to be careful of. If you've got a bit of track selected, you can change its type without realising. So for example, if I select this bit of track here, right now it's a ground track. If I want it to be viaducts, I can change to viaducts. If I want it to be tram, change to tram. If I want it to be tunnel, change it to tunnel. So you can actually change the track types depending on how you want it to operate as. So to be fair, if we really wanted to, we could probably make this even, well, this initial stretch, hang on, Berlin selects as tunnel. Just realised that's also going to need to change. It needs to be ground to, or tram, again, different tunnel track types, just how to save a bit of money. But we'll stick it on the ground just for sake of simplicity, even if it's twice the cost. So back to where we are, select you, stick another ground track after that, and continue onwards. Wouldn't a tunnel be better instead of putting high-speed line for an urban landscape? Tunnels more expensive, Black Cat, and also this section, it's not so much high speed, it's now just kind of slow entry into the station itself. Once we exit the main Berlin central area, then we'll start to look into speeding things up. But initially, when we're inside the Berlin city area, there's not really a demand for true high speed, because there are too many twists and turns there. Plus, tunnels more expensive than viaducts. So if you use the existing lines to our benefits, that always helps. So back to ground, and then build outward. Yeah, so a viaduct is a raised track. It's like a bridge, basically. Another word for bridge, correct. What happened to the first stream? Well, nobody was talking. It looks like we had a few connection issues which had to reset. So, back over the roads. I believe this will be a road that requires a overpass. Yes, it is. And then back down to ground level. Smaller roads and pathways we can easily cross over without any requirements of bridging over them. Yes, they do auto-create bridges, but one overpass is 1 million in comparison to an viaduct, which for the same length costs about 10,000. So it's 10 times cheaper to viaduct than it is to bridge. And so right now, when you're on a slow bit of track where speed isn't so much a problem, you can easily save money by using viaducts rather than bridges. More high-speed sections, you'll definitely start using bridges more, because on a viaduct, speed limit is restricted down to, I think it's 250 rather than 350 or something like that. And so, yes, while it does do bridges automatically, they're about 10 times more expensive. And so viaducts are just the cheaper way to go over than overpasses. And we've spent 60 million so far for a track of this length. If we were to use the overpasses, that's another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10... another 10 million at least on top of the cost. So instead of 60 million, we'd now be on 26 million. So it's a way of saving money when it comes to building these railways. Right, so stick a viaduct over the water now. Back down to land. Didn't know about that, save a lot of money. Absolutely. So I was doing a bit of research before starting the stream, kind of all the prices and all that. Still, it's quite populated out here, but not as much as other places. And then waterways like that, could we build over waterways like that? Still requires an overpass, which again, another million, so... Where's Spandau? And then there's the railway line into Spandau. Yeah, because it comes out the... Ah, that's how Berlin works, isn't it? So, if I really want to go... Yeah, there's Falcon sheet. Straight line out. That is the real way to get out to Berlin. So do we abandon our plan so far and come out the north? I think that may be the better way to do it. So we'll leave the track as it is, because again, we could easily use it as like a southerly exit point one day when we need it. But if we can try and keep everything down on the initial exits, we can then follow the pathway of the track out. Okay, we'll do that. I'm glad I checked that now, rather than say, well, 20 million, 16 million in, that's alright, we can even turn that into a local line if we need to. So we'll just work around that. So we'll build a new ground, well, another viaduct track, just get out of the station here. Back to ground. And then immediately cut into, well, there's the track opening space, therefore easily cut into that section there. So, yeah, another route to depot as well, so we could easily use it as more of a service route. Service routes. Viaducts over, it's going to be probably one of our longer viaducts. And something like that, viaducts cost now 1,000, so 1,000 metres, 9 million. So that's now what's into the overpasses, but 1, 2... Yeah, we have to viaducts over that anyway, so... Yeah, I think we'll leave it as our one big viaduct out. Some places you just can't sacrifice the cost regardless of what you're doing. Can we also change the curve? Just make it higher speeds? The answer is probably not. At least for the entry into Berlin itself. 114, 57, again, train station right there, doesn't really matter too much if that's the slow bit of track. Continue it down. Stick another viaduct over the road. Now we could put a high-speed station out of Spandau, or we could leave it to just serve the commuter lines, which I'll probably do instead. So we'll skip past it for now. When we get back to the commuter lines later, we'll then be here for consideration. So that's all fine. I want to change station edge later. Build the track out, nice and straight. Up to the roads. Viaducts over. So far, so good. Yes, on the ground, 350 speed limit on the viaducts down to 250. So small adjustments we do need to counter for. Is it worth to switch over yet? Nope, so you can still viaduct over. We're almost out of the Berlin central area. Profile lump to Falkenski, Briegelang. I'm not going to pronounce that one anytime soon. Now and eventually, like I said, I want to kind of go away from the current lines. Could try and go through Wustermark. And Hanover is our first major destination, so if we, yeah, still quite populated, still quite busy here. Definitely need to work out the track outs of that. So I'll follow this for now. Eventually, we'll we'll see when it's ready. We'll see when it's right. When our escape plan is viable. We'll know when it's the right time. This is NIMBY Rails, my account. This is NIMBY Rails. It's a new train tycoon sandbox, build your own kind of railway game that came out a couple of days ago. And so far, thoroughly enjoying it. Thoroughly enjoying it. I mean, I've always liked these railway tycoon games, but there's something about NIMBY Rails which is just, well, both different and at the same time very rewarding for what it does. Right, okay, so at this point now we're out of the main Berlin central area. It's now where we start considering run at high speed, so we'll cut the track down. I think this is only kind of doubled up line, so actually we'll leave it down the middle. And we'll make this our final viaduct at 250. And from now on, we'll stick to overpasses and 350 km/h track. So this is where we break out of the slow lines, 350 down to 170. Could we realign that track a bit? 350, 215, 249, 249 down to 247. That's fine. It's 3 kilometers. 243, 350. So yeah, if we stick around to 240, 250 mark, that should do us all right. In fact, 247, 282. That does not really affect it. 245. 350, 257, yeah, that's fine, and that is fine, perfect. Back to build mode, on the ground. There is my viaducts plan. Immediately, the first bridge you come across against, we already have to scrap that plan for another viaducts. So close, yet so far. Gone in 350, 249, immediately down to 350. Just the angles, allow for quicker track. Might also go inside Japan. It's possible. Well, my brother's doing it at the moment. He's rebuilding the entire Japanese Shinkansen network. Looking rather interesting on his end now. He's completely rebuilt the alignments of the track and all that. Okay, it's 285. We need to get out fast again. Circles and radiuses also play a part in the track's speed limits. It might be a bit too tight for us, perhaps. Okay, if we try to keep it above 200 then. 298, 235. Almost. 244, 248, 250. I can agree, accepts that. And then how far can we get this to go? To 250, 230, 245, 234, 243, 238, 240. That's the best we can do. That's the best we can do. Okay, 250. We'll carry on out up to 350 again. Some high-speed trains stop at Stendal and Wolfsburg on the way to Hanover. That's real life, Sampo. This is my future railway here in Europe. In my railway, we again, do we stop at Spandau? Do we go right through? Do we leave it for the local services? Because in real life, I've been to Spandau. I caught the IC3 between well, from here and Berlin. Maybe I will stick a stop in Spandau. So I have one station here, and then we'll carry on up to high speed. So new station, or new viaducts even. Or actually, could we bypass the viaducts and build over the water? No, we can't. Okay, viaducts it is. So new viaducts over the water, and prepare our trains to slow down now for that. Could you fly to Barrow in Scotland? This is a NIMBY Rails stream car Roblox, not Flight Sim. This is NIMBY Rails. I think we have to build the run up to the viaducts a bit straighter and longer. So 350, build it out. And curve track just needs to adjust again. Got a lot more open space here, so we can easily adjust for that. 200, 300, and 50. Over here, can we do the same? The answer is almost. 332, 344, 350, 350, 350. Perfect. Right, we'll stick a station out here in Spandau. So new platform on the ground. Again, we could cheap it out entirely and build a tram station. I mean, they look exactly the same. So there's a, well, that's a tram station. This is a, hang on, station, ground. So this is a ground station, this is a tram station. They work, actually they work quite different, don't they? One's got more capacity than the other, so now we'll go all the way, we'll build the ground platform. So build platform on the ground, we'll build it over these two rows, just to make my life a bit easier, and it's 200 meters we want, 200 meters. How much is NIMBY Rails? It costs 13 quid, I believe, £13. It's not too expensive once it is. Like I say, I do very much enjoy it. I'm actually a little bit surprised by how much I'm enjoying it. It's a very simple concept, building railway lines on top of a real world map, but surprisingly, it's been well, it's been very well executed as a result. It's a very good little game, this. So we'll put the exit track to our viaducts here. And now the speed doesn't matter too much again, because we're just entering into another station. So out of the track and immediately into the platform. Perfect. Now we'll put it out. Again, speed's not so much a problem since it's into a station. Up to 350. Could we save a bit on the viaducts out here? Well, trains got the high speed. I think they may. 350. If we leave it for now, we can just we can always go back later and change it. So let's continue outwards. 350, 350, 350. We'll turn on the line speed overlay so I can give an idea of how the track speed is performing. And as few of these overpasses as possible, just again to save us a bit more money. Like I say, Roblox, I do like this game. It's a very simplistic, very fun little railroad sim tycoon sandbox thing. Officially, I believe it's called a sandbox. Officially, this is a sandbox. Viaducts, okay. Or could we keep things up with speed with the tunnels? Tunnels down to 300 kilometers per hour. More expensive, but at the very least, don't lose out too much on high speed. So again, another reason why potentially in some cases the tunnel will be better than the viaduct. As tram tracks are slowest, followed by the viaducts, followed by the track tunnel, and then the fastest, of course, is the ground rail. Don't know myself on the real-life railway track path. This is now my railway path. Having issues with bankruptcy in the game, it's not too difficult to make money in this. Not too difficult at all. Just a case of building your lines. We've spent about 10% of our budget so far. 10% of our budget takes us... there's Hanover. Stendal. We could potentially stop at Stendal on the way. Which that's 10%, probably actually. Again, now that we're out of the main city centre, just gonna get cheaper and cheaper from here. Yeah, it's a good thing it's half a billion, makes life so much easier. Very nice. They need to build a overpass over that small little lake. Again, it's about 1 million for every kilometre of track. So far, we've built about 100 kilometres of track, 107 kilometres to be exact. And we're not doing so bad. So that means like a little race course there, little testing centre here in Friedrichsdorf. Friedrichsdorf. Here we go. So this is where potentially breaking away from the currents line helps in regards to keeping your speed up. Rafanov does have a train station. I think we may skip through that one. Hanover, just under a quarter of the way there. Just under a quarter of the way there. That works. 350, 350, and if I can get a straight track out, 3 up to 350, perfect. Didn't even have to slow down for that. And again, if we do decide to build train stations later on, we can just as easily go back, delete a bit of track, build the platform, and then go from there. Down to 261. Keep it 350. So how are you guys all doing in the chat? Looks like a bit quiet on your end today. Another bit of awkward road there. You be chilling. That's good. So now breaking away from the main line. Finding cheaper ways. Just slowly expand our network from it here. Well, not even cheap so much. It's just faster ways. So 3, 4, 6. Tiny bit of a turn. 3, 3, 9. So again, small adjustments. Just keep that speed up. 350. 350. Welcome, Frizzy. How you doing? See, you've banned me from my own Discord server earlier on. How you doing, man? Welcome to channel for the chat. How are you today? I think if we were to start heading to the north again, how does that affect our speed? Still 350. Still 350. So we'll make our way back onto the main line again. Oh, I'm not doing too bad, my friend. Not doing too bad at all. It's Friday, it's the weekend. Sitting at home like I always do in these lockdown days. Right, coming through Stendal soon. Hanover just to the south of here. So what I'll probably do is bypass Stendal entirely. We'll continue out straight. If we can get around that viaducts there, that's fine. And now start heading to the south. No point building through a city if not even going to stop there. Again, we'll tunnel under. One more expensive. Gets us faster. And then back up to grounds track. Ooh, 241. Do not like that. I do not like that at all. There we go. Cut back the length. That'll do. Right. I don't know those 200s. Those 200 needs to go. 271, 350. May even try and slightly bend the tracks a bit more. Give us a more of a southerly approach. In fact, we'll delete all of that. Head right down to the tunnel head here, or to the land's end there. Select as ground track, new track, tunnel. There we go, right, tunnel across. And back out again. Do you think the UK will be like that by the end of the summer? Not sure, Joshua. Nobody really knows what's happening at the moment, and so summer could be a bit hit and miss this year. I've certainly got no plans. Normally I have a few trips booked. This year I thought I'd just hold back and wait to see what happens, really. No point planning anything if it's just going to get cancelled. How are we doing? So we're now about halfway to Hanover. We've only spent a quarter of our budget. A quarter of our budget has gotten us pretty far. And I think for Rafanov, I think if we've built a station in Spandau, we may as well give it a connection. So, okay, interesting. So yeah, we'll build a new station, stick it on the ground. I think we'll give them somewhere to go. So 200 meters, stick it somewhere relatively central. Tracks 1095. This one tracks 2124. Then Berlin Central tracks another 5700. So again, it's only about a fifth of the direction of Berlin, but it's still passenger numbers that I'm sure when we start opening the railway will be greatly appreciated. 240 track limits. We could probably then actually make this even cheaper by sticking a viaduct over it. So stick the viaducts over the bridge. Track comes down again and connects. $135. What are we doing here? So it's $250 on the minimum for the viaducts. That'll do. Grounds track out again. Just the length. $249, $350, $251, perfect. And now we just build out the connectors too. And this is where we had the issue earlier in getting that bridge right. Can we work it around that? The answer is 265, 310. Actually, we probably could do. $350, $310. Up to $330 there. But it's just too straight for this bridge. Okay, so for best is $320. I think we can go and live with that. One thing to say is that you can get enough lockdown without streams. Honestly, best stream we can speak of. Many agree with Joshua. Cheers, Joshua. Thank you very much for the kind words. Glad you guys enjoying the streams a lot. You have on-station network with a reach of 80, so what's your profit? Okay. Where's that? It's somewhere in the middle of, I don't know. There you go, just to the east of Lepavirta. Sorry, Lepavirta. Lepavirta, there you go. Right here in, Orinora. Perhaps is where your station is, with a reach of 80. No, so far, this is, NIMBY Rails, Magnus. This is NIMBY Rails. It's a new game, came out quite recently. So far I think quite a few people have enjoyed the concept of it, to be fair. It's a new concept, well, Royal Tokens aren't new concepts, but it's like a new way of doing it, and so far I think people have actually rather enjoyed it. Yeah, that's going to cause us a bottleneck, isn't it? So I think we'll redesign the approach into the station entirely, just to try and keep speed up. So 318, that's actually probably quite lucky for trying to get. Is that really where speed limit changes? Could easily try and get a bit closer even. So let's rebuild the approach in, and let's just work on our speed. This is the easy bits. Straight line 350 in. Right, 350 out. Is it at all possible to keep it above 250? The faster we can do it is the straighter the curve. 260 will do it. $350 out. And now it's the Viaducts of Dreams. Ooh, that's a new way of doing it. 297, 350 across, and hopefully that's done it. Oh yes, that's clock ticking at real time, so speed it up and pause it. Otherwise that clock is ticking right now alongside happily at real time. Showing for 48 minutes so far. Right. So we're not going to build through Shendar, we're not going to give it a station, we're just going to go right on through, see where we go from there. Got a viaduct across that curve, that's fine. Let's rename these stations. So this is Rathanov. This is going to be Berlin Spandau. And this is going to be Berlin Central Station. I think Central Station is one word in German, but we can always change the names later if need be. Right, onwards to Hanover. So actually we'll go away from the current line again. We'll start continuing to build on the more of a southern trajectory. So one overpass, no overpass there. I think that's the requirements. Could we get around that? The answer is yeah. So that is here to stay. That's fine. We can live with it. Godlike Egan, we'll probably build around that again. How much is this game? It's about 13 quid. Do I recommend it? I enjoy it. I personally do enjoy it. It's simple little concepts, but a lot of fun to be had when building your own little railways. So right now, it's just zooming through all of the parks there. Change the angles, just get the across, minimal viaducts where possible. That's a length issue, is it? One water issue up here. Easy fix. And then a length issue, two length issues a bit further down. So we'll delete, or just minimize that. One wrong length here. Welcome Max, on your other account, how are you? Have you related to OpenTTD? Very similar aspects of the game. I haven't actually, I've heard of it. It's one of those games that I've heard. I very much want to play, but I've never really sat down to play it. There's a lot of games like that where I've heard of it, I've looked into it and all that. It's like Transport Fever. It's not a game which I've looked at in a lot of detail, but I've never sat down to play it. No, Benny Rose and OpenTD don't, no. How's been going? So far so good actually. We're just over halfway to Hanover now. Spend about a third of our budget. So, from Hanover, could we... We're not going to hit Paris today. That's almost impossible. But could we hit Dortmund? Maybe with a bank loan. Or, do we work on the Berlin feeder system? Because the Berlin feeder system will be more profits. But the Dortmund line needs to get closer on our progress at high speed. Do we focus on the feeder? Or do we focus on the... on the high speed? I think I should maybe probably go for the feeder next, but for now, focus on the main railway line. Get ourselves over to Hanover. Got to start somewhere with these high-speed railways. Welcome, Density, how you doing? Welcome to Channel Chats. How are you today? So right now we are hitting a little bit of an issue with these turns. A bit too sharp for the true high speed. Probably extend them a tiny bit, or working on angles. What's the issue there? Water, is it? Yeah, it's another water issue. So we do that. Still 350, which is fine. Remove you. Remove you. Change your angle. There we go, that's better. Right, onwards we go. Meister will certainly not be building a station at. Got another bit to go over. Tunnel it is. Obischfeld. And we've also got the opportunity of actually building like a second track alongside this. So for example, if I build a second track, move it up, we could easily build a second railway line alongside this, and then connect all the small towns on the way. So we've got that, or we can make use of passing loops. So high-speed trains go straight through, low trains need to stop at all of the stations along the way. Wolfsburg, ooh, Wolfsburg. I didn't realise we're passing through here. I think Wolfsburg is big enough to require a train station. Where's the biggest population density? Probably about here, so that's useful actually. We shall build a station at Wolfsburg. Perfect. $200 again. Slowly reduce that down a bit. Perfect. It also means that we can now make more use of viaducts than bridges. This trains will be a lot slower in the approach path to the station. Yeah. Wish you could switch to an underground map so there's more depth. Yeah, I mean that's something maybe for the future. If you're on the developers Discord, it's always worth saying a few things out. Because right now in early access officially in this game, so they are still very much in the early days of actually putting it all together. But I'm sure the developers are more than happy to take requests and opinions of people. For example, I for one would love to see a PvP mode for this in multiplayer, so you can actually go against another company rather than work with them. And that's something I believe they are now looking to develop in the future. So they are definitely up for ideas. Well worth getting your voice in if you're interested in the future of this platform. Right, so go straight to Hanover. We'll avoid Gilthorn. Follow Schreiben. What's the density of that? What is the density of Rathanov? Yeah, still quite quiet there. Follow's been still quite popular, but to be fair, Wolfsburg, you probably get a feeder railway in there anyway to transport. Even a tram. A tram's another smaller and even cheaper way of getting popularity in, but even less of the cost. So again, we'll break away from the current line since it does slow down a bit there. And we'll head to the south a bit. Not quite, I don't think. Get 2 of these in, 3 of these in there. Perhaps build the train alongside the water. Just 341. 341. Tiny change of the angle. Can we get that right? Ooh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Okay, it's one of those roads where the angle is just a bit tight. 350, 318, 350, 350. There we go. 350, perfect. Yeah, we're gonna have to viaduct over that, I think. Or can we just go around that entirely? It's quite a tight angle, that. Follow the water down through to Pine. It does take us into Hanover. Is it worth following the main line around then? Actually, it probably is. Yeah, definitely is. Okay, we'll follow the existing track then. That's the thing, I don't want to slow down. 285 is definitely a bit of a hit there. Into tunnel. Track across. And back out to the other side. Is that a yacht harbour? I believe this is a canal here in Schnellsen-Siedlung, if I said that right or not. I believe that's a lock for a canal, but I could be wrong. Right, 339 right on the edge of the tunnel, that's fine, that's 300 anyway. More straight track, more high speed. Perfect. The one before. Oh, you're talking about this one, are you? Yeah, Yachthofen, Fallschweben. Yes, that is like a yacht parking place. Our budget's definitely taking a hit now. We're almost halfway through our budget. Still over halfway there, but I think we'll stop with the full build and then look into more of a tram network in Berlin. 350, 350, tunnel under. We could go viaducts, they are cheaper, but they are about half the speed, and so at least a high-speed network, we can then recuperate the money earlier with tickets. With tickets, because trying to get in there faster. And on to Athens, one day in the future. One day certainly. I mean, it'll be a bit of an extension from Athens all the way to, from Berlin all the way to Athens. But one day probably go something like Prague, through Vienna, through Belgrade, and then down into Greece one day for the future. And have like an island hopping train service that trains onto all the islands into Greece. I'm sure that'll take a bit of time to get going. Bridges to every single island. Oh, there's a nice gap there, that road. If we can use that to our advantage without slowing things down. Perfect. More straight track. How's the game work compared to slopes and mountains? There's no 3D logic so far as I'm aware. This takes as if the world was just a flat plane. So mountains and heavy terrain doesn't really have an effect on this game at all. No, it does not. As the web says, it's not so meant to be like a realistic simulation of building railways. It's more of a sandbox, kind of to show what can you do if you're in charge kind of thing. So you do miss out on some of the elevation simulation. So if I really wanted to, I could build a train station at Mount Everest Base Camp, with the next station at Mount Everest Peak. Ooh, I was going to tell on that, wasn't I? Cheaper. So not cheaper, but quicker. Much quicker. So track, tunnel, build. Whoops, a daisy. That's not what I wanted. Ground, build, tunnel. There we go. So 350, down to 300 on the bridge and tunnel, back to 350, back to 350, and beyond. So now entering the outskirts of Hanover. And then depot-wise, I think we'll store a depot at either end. Or we could potentially just have one train in Berlin, and we'll have a later start. Get the angles right for the bridge. Uh, 350, still at 350. My favourite train, either class 395, the high-speed Javelin, the VR class SR2, the main Finnish passenger train, or the any networker, which is an early 90s local commuter train here in the UK. So I think if we went through Letter, we can avoid the majority of the terrain. Perhaps with a slightly longer approach path required. Let's try something else. So delete all of that. If I can get the angle right into this. Four track points, right. 4 track points. The aim is to get a combined total of, whoops, drag it up to 350, so 350, yeah, it's just too tight. Just too tight for me. 230, 265. Right, let's try and find another approach path then. That's a motorway, so I can't quite build like on top of that. We go down the middle. How wide is this road? Could I potentially go down the middle of the motorway? I'm not sure I would bridge across though, that's the other question. Could bridge tunnel underneath? Could do that. So tunnel there. Let's try something. So ground down the middle. How is this going to work? So now the target speed is 300. Out to the ground again. Nah, it's not going to do it. Okay, plan C. How do we get through later without the need of going through the city? I'd quite like to come out the railway at the end of it, so actually building the motorway road probably would not have worked for too long. I'm trying to avoid too many tunnels, since the price of that will really start to kick up, especially this later on. We've only gone over just half our budget. We're about 80% of the way there, with this being the final stretch. But if it seems impossible without tunnels, then we may as well go underneath. Go out the other side. You know that feeling? So close, yet so far. I think that's exactly what we've hit right now. Let's try and keep the line speed down as fast as possible for as late as possible. So 253, 230, and something like that. Then at the very least, we do lose some speed for a short section. It's only for a very short section. Speed up again for Wolfsburg. Well, then sit down for a station, which that we can happily agree is not too much of a problem. could do that, could we? 250 up to 130, realign that. Just get that curve up to 350. Okay. We don't need to lose speed for Wolfsburg. Go straight in. Right. So letter, I don't think we'll build a station here. You got a bit of population density towards the city centre. But I think we could probably build a line from Hanover connecting it and just get passengers to go through there. So we'll continue building for now. 250 I think is our limits through this city. And it's pretty tight, so you know what? Forget that for game of soldiers, we'll go underneath. So tunnel. Take tunnel just underneath the road. And then come out just about here. What's cheaper? 609, 610. Yeah, so go for 609, that'd be cheaper. So 350, out the other side, under through Leicester, and now on the final stretch into Hanover. And then where do we build the station? Of course, right here in the centre. So new station platform, stick it here for now. Readjust the length. 213 down to 220. Sorry, 200. There we go, Hanover station ready to go. Follow the main line out, or main line through even. Again, don't need to follow the real line, we can just follow our own pathway if it's cheaper and quicker. So, straighten it out a bit. Straighten it all out a bit, 300, 300, and then continue on ground track. So, 300 becomes 350, and outward we go. Probably will viaduct over this bit, just because we're now in the slow city section, therefore not so much of an issue for us to slow down. 250 viaduct, stick an exit portal at both ends, readjust for cheapness. And then connect two together. Down to 260. Nope. So at this point we'll now just viaduct over all the bridges because it's just again cheaper. Welcome Scorpy, welcome to JBT, how are you doing? Welcome back to the channel, how are you? Can you read chat more often please? By the way, what do you think of Poland? Well, cheers to that, Sebastian, much appreciated, you're a star. What do you think of Poland? Well, moja mama jestem po polsku. No lubiłem. My mother's Polish. I go there every summer. I can just about speak the language, very, very basic. But if I need to go somewhere, I can just about conversate with people. So, yeah, no, live in Portugal. No, jestem na Rzeszowie. I don't read chat too often, only because the well, chat right now is pretty much dead. Nobody's talking, so I do apologise if I've missed a few comments. Dzień dobry, proszę pana. Bardzo dziękuję. Bardzo dziękuję, Sebastian. Right. Yeah, gonna read this alignments just to get this track about. Also, viaduct over this, so 350, stick a viaduct over. Mother's Czech, very nice. Not been Czech Republic. I'd love to go one day. Perhaps when the world returns to relative normality. Somewhere for me to tick off the list. Another viaduct. Could you speak some Polish? It's me, it's Theories. Really appreciates your Polish, but you've learned English as well. Nie mówiłem troszkę po polsku, nie jest bardzo dobre. Nie mówiłem małe. Right, so na pociągie zaraz. A, dobra, right, dobra. Gdzie na już jedzie? Tutaj jest station 350, 50. Może jedzie... what's the Polish word for slower again? This is where I'm trying to think of the words now. Wolnie, that's it. A tutaj na pociągie może jeść wolny. I zaraz. Nie mogę. A mogę. Już i teraz. Nie mogę. Viaduct mogę. I zaraz. Tutaj i tutaj. Nie będę. Bardzo wolnie tutaj. Co na będę robiłem? Nie bardzo. 249. Let's rebuild the track entry a bit. So again, if we get the angle perhaps here a bit tighter, because the other viaducts we got that slow down. $319, $350. Viaduct. Tutaj. Scrunch. Nah. Tack. I teraz mogę tutaj viaduct over. back to ground. Yosh. Yeah. Istenia. Iteras. Okay. Our high-speed network between Hanover and Berlin is now ready. We've got a few stops on the way. Eventually, like I say, I mean, in terms of budget, we're just over halfway of our budget this far. We could probably use the money we've got to get ourselves as far as Onnersbruck. But what I'm going to do now is head back to Berlin. Okay, if you speed the rest of your stream. Probably not Skype, I'm afraid. That's our Polish is not quite that good at this level. No, so far, one water link. What have we done wrong? There's one more to hit somewhere, just here. I think we edged that right early, didn't we? Yes, we did. 350, 350, that will do. Okay, perfect. So we'll build the track. Yes, we will. Our first part of this network is now complete. We will buy... Actually, we'll build the lines up first, and then we'll see how many trains you require. So we'll start off at Berlin Central. Oops, get rid of you. First station at Spandau. Then we stop at Wolfsburg. We stop at one station on the way, Rathenov. Then we stop at Wolfsburg. We avoided the Detto, but tunneled through, and then we'll end up at Hanover. Swap ends. Back through to Wolfsburg. Back through to Rathenov. And back into Berlin, where the train terminates. Right, that's that sorted. This will be the initial line, so Berlin to what was it? Hanover. I need to rename the station there, don't I? Next passenger want to leave at Gulliman station. So I'll rename that quickly. Gulliman becomes Hanover. Vector becomes Wolfsburg. Back to lines, back to that. If we set the code, so Han base ticket price shall be $20 with a per kilometer price of 50 cents. Trains up at Rathenau, but Stendal, you know it's because you live there. Like I say, Glenn, this isn't real life, this is my railway. So I can see my track bypassed Stendal, went to the south of the city. We don't go to the original station place. This is my new and improved German network. So we avoid Stendal, instead stopping at Rathenov instead. We'll make this, we'll leave it come default colour red for now. We'll set the travel times now. So we'll go to the 4359 speed, which is the majority of the track. Set you. So round trip takes an hour and 16 minutes to get to Hanover. 1 hour and 60 minutes. And a return trip, 2 hours 33. So it's not too bad. It's not too bad. If you were to get maybe 3 trains run the line, 2 hours 33, we get there maybe 3, 6, 9, 12. How can I do this? 233 divided by 3. A train every 0.7, 0.8 of an hour is about 40 minutes. So if you train every 50 minutes with 3 trains, so maximum interval, so minimum interval is 50 minutes, set interval times, max speed is set, and that is that. Right, so by 3 trains, and let's get our first network going. So this, or could we go for maybe, what's your top speed? So yours 330, so I think this is still the fastest train in the game, the default Menisem Rolvera. Releva. 320, 350, 160. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna stick with the 350 for now. So we'll EHS1, so European High Speed 1, and this will just be a letter, number. 6-car trains, no need to lengthen or shorten it. Base colour white. I think we'll go for the an ode to German ICE, red livery, figured equal. I think we'll go for the spotted one for this network. We'll buy 3 of those, set them down. Let's stick our train in service. So do we run 24 hours, do we run limited times? I think we'll run it at limited hours at high speed. So 06. Actually, we don't have a depot yet, so we'll do 24 hours for now, and then later on we can always do limited service if we need to slow things down. So Berlin Hanover starts at Berlin Central. That's good to go. We'll now do the second train. So we'll just go copy and paste that. So copy date, paste date, delete all. Whoops. Copy day, paste day, and delete slots. Move you to Monday if possible, Monday midnight. And then same for you, paste date, delete you. Sets you as a Monday midnight, and with the 50-minute interval, it just means that trains will be able to space themselves out before continuing on their own trips. So far you're travelling at about 300 km per hour, so you're going to use the speed, and hopefully, yeah, up to 350. Off you go. Our first train is now complete. It's a 2-hour journey return, don't forget, so I'm hoping that the 50 minutes is enough. Another 20 to go until you start returning. We'll see. We'll see. Almost conceded on Pez because of the the thing. Sorry about that, David. Train arrives at Hanover. Starts a return journey. So let's see, how's the spacing for the last train? You now depart. I'd say that's about right. 2.5, 3 hours. I'd say that's about right then, 50 minutes. When you arrive, immediately straight out to your next trip. Let's now start with the feeder routes. I think we'll leave Berlin for now, the feeder. I think if we do a small service through Wolfsburg, I think we try and do a relatively cheap track, just get everything crossed. So we'll do another station alongside the current station. Because my microphone's not quite right. There we go. Where's the mouse gone? There's the mouse. Right. Let's build a second platform. That's a depot. It's a platform. And we'll be doing this as a tram line, I think. Something small, something that just gets out of the city. So, city tram length is up to 5 cars. That gives us 45 meters. The other tram is a Flex City. That's length of 25 meters, 216 passengers, 215 up to 305. So actually, we'll probably go for city tram. 305, 70 kilometers. That goes faster though, 80 kilometers per hour. But I think speed's not such a problem. Yeah, so 6 to city tram, length of 45 meters per platform. So track, select you, turn you into a tram station, and queue up quite nicely. 45 meters we require. The benefit of tram is that we can now go basically on top of roads and everything. Has 0 effects on our movements. And by far the cheapest of all the track, although bridges will be the big fallout for us. So we'll make use of this bit of town over here, and then we'll side south as well. Also true, not too bad, Lucas, not too bad. How are you? Welcome to the channel, welcome to chats. Could we potentially use the road as like a... No, we have to build our own bridge. That's fine. So, cut across. 45 mile per hour limit. So, by far the slowest of the lines, therefore the cheapest. But also very little effects on the rest of our line. Demand World Cup final. Very nice. Remember, is handball siatka in Polish? Was that netball? That's what I'm trying to remember now. If Squipey's still here. Siatka, netball or handball? So build a bridge across. Can't do that just like that. So back to bridge. Sorry, tunnel on viaducts, cheaper. So select you, turn you into viaducts. And then build more viaducts across. Another tram track down. Continue building alongside the main road. So our first station is going to be just alongside the well, outside the main reach of the station. Into this community right here. So we'll take another bridge. Sometimes you use tram tracks level crossings, sometimes the tunnels on the passes, sometimes. It's an easy way to get around, that's for sure. It's definitely a very versatile bit of track. I think one that people are using, almost a bit underutilising, if you know what I mean. They don't quite use it as often as they should do, because I don't know, for one it's the slowest bit of track, but at the same time, a lot of people think trams, it's not trains per se, as a result, they kind of just forget about it, but it is definitely a versatile bit of track, this tram. So we'll build a station just here now. Create a new station for the trams. 49 metres was it? 45. Is it 45? 46 for it. City tram 45.5. So I think if we made it 46, just give it that extra bit of breathing room, that'll do us fine. So 46. Yes, a good look for level crossings, absolutely. We've put it away from the main roads as well, just for the sake of keeping the map pretty. There we go. Could we maybe a bit further along then? Because the benefit of these feed lines is if we can cover as much ground as possible with as little, well, as a few stations as well. And we'll be travelling long distance. So we'll connect stats. Now continue out. Next station, we could probably make a split, so one goes to Tiergartenbreit, and the one goes to Wolfsburg, or we could make a single bit of track which kind of goes around and loops back in. I think the loop back in option may be the different Venshot. We could then maybe one day reach out to Ruhen. I think if we branched, I think that'll make it a bit easier for us. So we'll continue building, and then we'll branch out of two separate lines. About as technical as I really go with these feeders. So it's have one purpose and one purpose only. More passengers for the main line. You should make a multiplayer game with limited money. Invite people to see what they create. Could be interesting. That could be interesting. It's like a free-for-all, unlimited money worldwide server. See what happens. Tell you what. I think I'll plan something like that for maybe next week. It's a very good idea, that. Pat on the back, David. Pat on the back. Is there a limit to how many people can join a multiplayer server? That's what we're going to check now. Is there a limit to how many can join? How far can we build? So we've built 2 stations within the city area. 69 down to 46. You're building Vancouver to Buenos Aires. Very nice. It's quite a long route, actually. Vancouver to Buenos Aires. That goes right down the right down the heart of the US for that. How far have you completed so far? Also, high-speed network, or is it more of a local line? That's so one thing that America doesn't have is a true high-speed railway line. It certainly could do with one. It definitely improved a lot of connection, but for some reason Americans just don't like high-speed rail. Right, so that would be our terminus tram stop. Actually, I'm going to slow down time now because I'm going to pause it entirely. I've just realised that what we're doing there is throwing a lot of money away. Because with such a low ridership at this time, it's just going to, well, affect our income, really. So until we get ourselves a knowingly profitable line, just leave it on the pause for now. Oh, don't tell me you can't go over that water, can't you? Fine, we'll go over that. Tiny little canal. I guess the other negative of the tram track is that it does require the does require other track to bridge over any form of water. So now you stay as tram, and then back to tram track. Adjust the position, adjust again, minimise length of this bridge. Perfect. Right, that's one branch done. If we now do the second short branch to Tiergarten, Breet and Cruisehide. So station, tram, down in the middle somewhere. How dense is it? Yeah, definitely get a few people in that. So here. And maybe one more there. Try and connect both Tiergarten Breet and Teich Breet together. Done the entire Seattle sub. Ooh, very nice. In real life, made a high. Sorry, in your game, made a high speed. In real life, it's not. Yes, of course. So they've got quite a few extended networks. If you're on a Discord server, drop a few screenshots. I'm sure people will be quite interested in that. Right, how does that look? 46. Also, that 46, 49. 49 needs to be 46. This one is 49 again. Something's a bit too long all of a sudden. 46, perfect. There we go. Take care, David. Have a good one. Bye-bye. I think that's worked rather well, actually. So, track out. follow the open spaces. And into the station. And this one curves down south. Follow through Tykebury. Creates a exit points just here. In fact, we maybe use this bridge already here as a benefits. Answer is yes, we can. A bit too shallow, that. Oh wow, even that has limits, does it? Perfect, right. That's the northern portion of the Wolfsburg Metro now complete. If we now build a southern portion, so we... it's not very dense this bit, it's more car park and everything, so we'll leave this bit blank. This bit we could maybe extend to one day, but it's this section down the middle here, Westhagen and Finalizing, which I'd quite like to build to. So one that goes straight through, and then one that kind of goes in, curves south, and then it terminates either at Moritz or Detmerode, or again, branch and split down the bottom there. So build more track. Can we cross the main line? No, we can't, so we have to run a bridge over that again. If we do that quite early on, let's build our stations first, so I know where I'm going to build everything. So tram station, so need one in Westhagen, certainly. I think we'll use this bit nice here. meters, there we go. We'll do one at Detmerode, somewhere in the middle. There we go. It's just falling into place, this. Falling into place. Absolute perfection so far. We'll do one at Amen. So if we go somewhere in this park perhaps, there's a waterway there, so maybe push more something here. So screw it, in the middle of this park will do perfect. Probably do one here in Morris. Build the track out. And try and cut it down to the south. So build across, make a left, up, through and around. Follow the road, cross the motorway, cross the busy lanes and into the station. Finally, we'll do a branched line off of this bit. cross the water. Not even water, sorry, let's just cross the motorway. And straight into the final station. Right, now we just need 2 more stations safe stream, 2 or 3. So one around Hugdeborg, which we can use this nice little greenery for. Yeah, I'm not exactly going for the... well, I'm going for the green bits, aren't I? So much for being ecological this railway. So build it through there, and then 1 more station. Follow the greenery around, and potentially in just this more central Hohenstein area here. Perfect. Whoops. I'll get rid of the density map now. And we'll focus on the pathway this. And then which side do we build this? This was kind of there, so this side of the pathway, if possible. There we go. Wrong side. Come on, Drawyah. One job he had. So adjust it slightly, build it this side of the pathway. Perfect. Follow it through. Around the north side of the autobahn. Follow the autobahn. And then cut into the town. Where finally build the train out. Bridge over the main line. It's another thing a lot of people don't realise you can do. You can actually build bridges and tracks over the current track. So built over and now connects it all together. For about $16 million, we have now got a fully connected, fully integrated Wolfsburg tram. We'll now rename the station, which all makes sense. So Wolfsburg, this one becomes Hohenstein, which is fine. Hagdeburg, which is fine. Over here we'll have Westhagen, which is fine. Detmos is not doing right at the moment. Mars is fine. And TSV Enheim, which is the sports complex there. We'll probably just rename you to Echmen. Or Armen even. Right, Wolfsburg is fine. That becomes Alt Wolfsburg. Ah, we got a ride, have we? Welcome everyone to the stream. How you all doing? Welcome to the channel, welcome to the chat. You've caught us right now as we're building our branch line here in Wolfsburg. This will form a feeder into the Tiergarten rates. This forms a feeder onto our high-speed line between Berlin and Hanover, which eventually will become the high-speed network all across Europe. Not following the real world stuff either. This is all my hopefully working creation, so see how it all goes in the future. Vorsfeld. Yeah, Vorsfeld, and finally, final station, Venschott. Alright, so that's now done. We'll create 2 new lines. This will be Wolfsburg, and the second one, Wolfsburg B. This will just be Wall and Wolfsburg. Base ticket, so we'll make it we'll make it $4 for both. Base fee being 0.5 again. How are people actually reacting to the high-speed line? Are they paying it or are they refusing it? Okay. We've had quite a few refusals so far, so I may have to cheapen the prices a bit. So instead of 20.5, we'll make it 15 and leave it at 0.5 for now. See what happens. How long is it going to take to drive in the train? What do you mean by driving, Max? There is no driving in this. So Wolfsburg, we'll start one. Well, we'll do the short to longest. So we'll start one train down here. That's TSV. Whoops, wrong station. Follow it all around into Wolfsburg Main. And this one branches off to the north into Drawyah. And then a return journey back. Platform C. And how many trams do we buy for this is the question. Well, let's see how long the journey is, one way. Let's do the interval time. So maximum speed limit will probably be 45 for the line here. So again, it's about a 30-minute one-way journey. Where does it kind of end? Did we do the back on ourselves? I think we did. There we go. So it's a 34-minute journey one way. Rip auto mod. Oh, I don't have auto mod for a couple of emojis. Don't you worry. If you guys start spamming like crazy, then you guys will be kicked out. But not for something like that. Right. So 1 hour 10 minutes. If we buy 2 trams every 35 minutes, I think that'll be quite nice. So we'll do that for now. Although we'll set the other line as well, which will probably be a similar time. So we'll start this one from the north. Then you've got same pricing, same time. Start here. So 1, 2, 3, through to C. Wolfsburg, Hamburg, and done. Whoops. Then we'll do the 180, back down again. I can imagine this will be a similar 1 hour 10 minute journey to do 2 ways. Up north. Let's branch away from the main line, or from the same central bit, and into its own terminus. Right. Let's make time. So 1 hour 7, so pretty much the same time. What this goes into? So this Microsoft Flight Simulator and Dovetail Games Train Simulator and Train Sim at the moment. So the Dovetail Game stuff, NIMBY Rails and Microsoft Flight Sim are my top 3 at the moment. Right, that's all good. Interval times will be 35 minutes. And same for you. Right, perfect. 2 train sets for each. Local lines with Wolfsburg. I think we'll do the what's their local team colours? Wolfsburg football. It's like a light green and white. So if we kind of get the same kind of colour going, so base white, the equal colour a lime green. It's about that. Pick a equal. I think we'll do. That's quite nice. That'll do quite nicely. Perfect. So by 4 of these units, 5 car lengths, 45 meters purchase. We'll do. No, rename these. Okay, so this is not European high speeds. This is local line 1. Local line 1. Local line 1. And local line 1. There we kind of differentiate by the time train type, which is alright. So again, do a midnight starter. Wolfsburg A. midnight startup, Wolfsburg A, midnight startup, Wolfsburg B, and finally midnight startup, Wolfsburg B. So that we've got 4 new trams, and these will form the first feeder line here in Hamburg. Speed things up a bit. Don't know if they'll be the most profitable early on. It's just a case of seeing how far things can go. Going towards Berlin Central Station, you can now see got more passengers waiting up the local lines rather than just the main stuff. And if you go as far as Berlin, you can see not just the main stuff. You got so you got 2 for Rathenov, 1 for Western Westhagen, 10 for Wolfsburg Station. So now with a feeder line, well, I'm not sure how profitable it'll be. It's just a case of watching it all kind of grow from there. See again, there's no more refunds coming in, so people are willing to has to be trains not stopping. So 29,885. It's that number there I'm watching now. It's the magic number. Will that cause me problems? You don't have the patience of this. I don't mind it, Bigger J. I don't mind this kind of game. So 1 train stops. No refunds gone up. Still people are refusing the fare because it's too high. I mean, it's 100 out of 1,100. But if they're still not happy about it, we will need to change it. So if we make it 20 and 0.3 perhaps. Because these trains I think they're alright. 14 passengers again, some refusing the fares. 0.4, 0.4. That'll be a similar story. Yeah, fair few passengers. The odd one refusing because of the prices. But it's the high speed line that needs to make the money. Regardless of what they say. Do you play in spot from time to time? Depends if I'm in the mood with a friend, basically. I think we've done it. So, we're now making money at an alright rate. 12,000, 6,000. We use local lines. Of course, the high speed line will be the biggest money maker. Again, at least with a feeder, it's a small income stream, very cheap setup. So for this line to about $18,000. As long as they both made 18,000, it means we made our money back. So 14 plus 7, that's 21. We made our money back within a couple of hours of starting. So we could potentially expand it further. Like I say, Korea goes as far as Rochen with the local line. At some stage, I think we'll dedicate Berlin's local line to a stream on its own. And Hanover, we'll start thinking about the extension over to Dortmund. I don't have to. I do play Amnesty 2, but it's let's say it's not my most popular on streaming, and a lot of people do complain when I do push it out. Okay, so we've done about 2 hours of streaming today. We've built the high speed line. We've built our first local line, which I think I'm going to change out the colours of both of them to again Wolfsburg green for the sake of locality. So green, perfect. So there we go. Tomorrow we're doing 2 flights and streams. So we got a flight from Abu Dhabi to Munich in the morning. That's about 6.5 hours. Should be pretty good. Flying the 787, and in the evening flying from Porto to Madeira. So stick around for those 2 if you guys are interested. On Sunday we have our flight sim group flight, so stick around for that. Again, it should be a pretty fun one to go with. But for now, like I say, we've got our basis, we've got our trains, we've got our local line, and just a case of everything building it from there. Potentially also we can start building a local line here in Rathenov. Again, not a major one, probably just do a single line from the north down via through and south. Terminate maybe at Preminz, but that will dedicate to a later stream. So we're getting there. It's a start, but we are getting there. Passengers are boarding, very few refusing, and our new railway line is now off to a flying start. So, thank you all very much for watching. You take care of yourselves. I'll see you again in the very near future. Take care and have a good one. Good night.